Hello and welcome back to the MMA Split Pick Show for UFC Fight Night, headlined by Sergey Pavlovich taking on Curtis Razor Blaydes. Is this one at the Apex or are we on the road again? Do we know?
I'm pretty sure it's at the Apex. I think it's like Vegas 71. So let me see if we've got that up here. Yeah. Oh, it says Las Vegas, Nevada on here.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, let's assume it's the Apex.
I'm pretty sure it's the Apex, although I'd love it to be at the Virgin Hotel again.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be very, very cool. Either way, lots of fights. Seems to be their thing now. Just absolutely loading as many fights as possible onto these fight nights. So certainly a packed night of action. But some great names. Obviously, the main event is a heavyweight potential title eliminator bout. We've got Song Yadong returning, taking on the rising Ricky Simone. The return of Brad Tavares. Bobby Green is back far too quickly after the knockout he suffered against Drew Dober. Jeremiah Wells, remember that guy burning through everybody? He's back on this card. Ronnie Yaya, Norma Dumont, Usman's brother. We got a brother of already established fighters fight happening. Plenty of action. I'm, of course, Matt, joined by Josh. Josh, it's not been the best run of picks for us recently. I've been under 500 on 287. That broke my heart. I've managed to get back over 500 on the last week's card. I finished 8-6. How did you do on UFC Kansas City?
I'm gonna have to go back and double check, but I think I was pretty in line with you because we traded quite a lot. You took the main, I took the co-main. You took the feature. I know at one point I was like 2 up on the prelims. It's I think the rest we were pretty much similar on. I think you might have beat me by 1 maybe, so maybe I was 7-5. We'll have to go back and double check that.
Either way, we've been batting at 500 or just over 500 or just below. I'm hoping this card I can turn my fortunes around. My picks are not written down, so I will go first as I know you have already sent yours across. And with all of that out the way, let's get straight into this. Main event, rising Sergey Pavlovich, knocking everybody out, making it look easy, knocking out the knockout artists, looking dangerous and technical at the same time. Lots of straight shots, not big looping overhands. Huge test though, taking on Curtis Blaydes, who only loses to absolute monsters who catch him. Everyone else he beats. He looks great standing up. Wrestling pedigree is there. Can mix it together. Physical force. Huge for the weight category. How do you think this one falls?
Pavlovich has okay takedown defense against guys that aren't great at taking them down. I think unless he can catch Blaydes a la Derek Lewis, this should be Blaydes' fight to lose. I just think it's going to be 5 rounds. If Blaydes isn't able to get some really damaging ground and pound in there, I think it could just be sort of like the Volkov fight all over again. Just take him down, don't let him up, rinse and repeat.
I think that's what this fight needs to be for Curtis Blaydes. He has a tendency of liking to kind of stay on the feet a little bit, strike a little with guys, particularly in his last few fights before he gets into the wrestling. I don't know if Pavlovich gives you that opportunity. I see Pavlovich starting as aggressively as he started his last few fights. Just taking the center, putting pressure on, and trying to land hard shots thrown quickly and straight down the pipe. Curtis Blaydes tries to stand up with that. I think he gets caught first. But considering how aggressive Pavlovich is going to be, particularly early on, I think the space is going to be there to time a double leg. And, I mean, is Overeem Pavlovich's only loss?
Yeah, that was the last loss, yeah.
He beat him by wrestling. That's the key to this guy. Take the air out the tires, survive that first couple of minutes, don't get caught with anything stupid. I'm agreeing with you. I'm picking Blaydes. I like Blaydes, man. I think he needs to break this reputation of I only lose to fucking knockout artists that catch me. Eventually, you have to be you beat one of these scary fucking dudes. It wasn't Ngannou. Wasn't Derek Lewis. Pavlovich might be the scariest of all of them because he's so technical, though. That's the crazy thing.
Well, I think the real one was like fucking Aspinall, but we kind of got robbed there with the injury. But yeah, this would be a huge win for Blaydes, and I gotta assume that the winner, if both Miocic and Jones don't retire in November, is going to be fighting the winner of that one, or the winner of this fight is going to be fighting for the vacant belt, probably at the end of the year.
I would agree with that. If Pavlovich wins, man, Blaydes is just going to be that guy that's always just one step below the title. That's a tough position to be in. I think he gets over the line. I think he finally gets himself into that title contention category. Both picking Blaydes. Let's talk about this co-main event. Song Yadong is back after his loss to Corey Sandhagen, where he certainly showed a lot of toughness, a lot of ability, landed his own good shots as well. I think it was stopped because of a bad cut over the eye.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He's taken on the rising Ricky Simone, though, who is just one of these guys that is forward pressure, links it all together, can strike, can wrestle, never keeps it to just one, constantly throws everything at you. I kind of feel like Song Yadong's got the takedown defense to deal with this.
Yeah?
And I think the hands are so quick. I think the boxing is so sharp. I just think he's going to be able to land hard shots in tight spaces and keep Ricky Simone off him and fuck him up.
I think Ricky Simone's gonna win this fight, and he's gonna get a chance to reach and maybe get the Dwalish Wheelie rematch, depending on how the title fight goes.
I think this is a really close fight. I was thinking Ricky Simone for a part of time, but I've never seen anybody really put Song Yadong on his back. Where does Song Yadong train? Team Alpha Male. What is that gym filled with? Guys who are trying to take you down. I think he's seen everything that Ricky Simone's going to bring. I think he's ready for it. I don't think Ricky Simone is ready for those hands.
Hey, maybe. We'll see. I'm glad we got some separation early. I would love to get into it a little bit more, but we really
are pressed for time. Feature fight. Brad Tavares is back, taking on Bruno Silva. Yep. You know how on YouTube, when we had the little Bruno Silva fighting, I kept telling you that it was showing the record and the previous fight history for the big Bruno Silva. The exact reverse has now happened on the Google widget, on the UFC widget on Google for this fight. So I will say this. I'm still picking Brad Tavares, but I'm 100% sure Brad Tavares wins if the flyweight Bruno Silva shows up. But no, I'm giving this to Brad Tavares, man. I like Bruno Silva, but the loss to GM3 put too many questions in my mind. Brad Tavares is always in the fight.
He's always in the fight, but you know he really does his best work against certain fighters, and I don't think Bruno Silva fits that mold. I think Bruno Silva's going to upset him here. I'm pretty sure Tavares is coming in as a bit of a favourite, but I've just got a feeling Silva's going to get it done.
Okay, a bit of separation on these top three fights.
I think we're going to go different on the next one after what you just said as well.
Bobby Green versus Jared Gordon.
Absolutely.
I'm nervous about Bobby Green taking this fight so shortly after being flatlined by Drew Dober. Non-concussed Bobby Green beats Jared Gordon every day of the week, in my opinion. I'm still picking Bobby Green.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm still picking Bobby Green. But Bobby Green, it's a little short, man. Drew Dober fucking flatlined you.
Yep.
Flatlined you.
It's a bad idea.
It's not a smart matchup. And Jared Gordon, why are you fighting Bobby Green, man? I mean, it's a big fight. It's a good fight. It's a fun fight. I don't know if that's a fight you want.
Well, I think win or lose, he knows he's probably going to get the Pimblett rematch.
Yeah.
So it's he's probably looking at it in a similar kind of way. The guy recently got knocked out. He's a big name. Maybe it could even get to the point where he can kind of take over where Pimblett's kind of considered at this point, and get an even bigger fight and force Pimblett to kind of play catch up. But
true,
we'll see.
All right, next up, Yasmin Lucindo taking on tough alumni Brogan Walker, who technically has had a first fight in the UFC because she was in the tough finale against Juliana Miller. Yeah. I was not overly impressed with Brogan Walker in that fight. I'm picking Yasmin Lucindu.
Perfect. I'm going Walker.
Interesting. Next up, Jeremiah Wells taking on Matthew, the Jedi, Semmelsberger. I really hate picking against Semi the Jedi, but I'm going Jeremiah Wells.
Yeah, same. I'm going Wells as well.
This guy's just a steamroller, man. I mean, nobody
Yeah, and
finishes.
I think
Nobody finishes Court McGee.
Goes back to the well a little too often on things. Sometimes he's a bit predictable. He can
catch him. Yeah. I mean, nobody finishes Court McGee, and Jeremiah Wells fucking steamrolled Court McGee.
Yeah.
That's all the proof I need. Okay, on to the prelims. Ricky Glenn taking on Christos Giagos. I'm picking Ricky Glenn.
Yeah, I think Giagos has kind of got more of a well-rounded threat, but the truth is that they're both going to want to wrestle, and Glenn's just a bigger, better, stronger wrestler. It's an easy one for me.
Both going Glenn. In the bantamweight division, Ronnie Yahya taking on Montel Jackson. I hate picking against Ronnie Yahya, but I have to feel like age is eventually going to catch up, and Montel Jackson's a big fucking dude. Yeah. I don't know if Yahya's going to be able to get on the legs, and there's a lot of danger between him and where he needs the fight to be.
He's got ways to win this fight, but I think Jackson might be one of the heaviest favourites on this card at the moment.
I can't see past Jackson, man. He's such a physical athlete for the division.
Yeah, Montel all the way.
Next up in women's featherweight, Carol Rosa taking on Norma Dumont. Man, I haven't seen Carol Rosa at featherweight. I don't know how she's going to put this extra weight on, but Norma Dumont, whilst not always spectacular, has shown that she's probably the most dangerous non-Nunes fighter.
Yeah.
At featherweight, I've got to pick Norma Dumont.
Yeah, thin fucking division. I've gone back and forward on this one so many times. Again, I think Rosa might be the favourite on this one, but I'm going Norma Dumont just because, you know, it's a £10 weight difference from 35 to 45 is huge.
And there's nothing Norma Dumont cannot make bantamweight.
No.
She's just a bigger human.
Yeah, I've gone Dumont as well. We've got enough separation though. I'm not going to cry about them.
Fair enough. I'm interested to see where you go on this next one. It's the brothers fight. Little brother of Kamaru Usman, Muhammad Usman, who's the little brother but is way bigger than him, and Junior Taffa, who is the little brother, and I don't know if he's bigger or smaller, but at least he's in the same weight class, brother of Justin Taffa.
He better be smaller than the only heavyweight to ever miss weight. Otherwise, that'd be pretty
We've
embarrassing.
got a problem. I haven't seen Junior Taffa fight, and it's really hard to pick somebody I haven't seen fight. But I do not think that Muhammad Usman is a good fighter.
Yeah.
I think he got really fucking lucky against a guy that's actually a light heavyweight. And I'm going to say it, he kind of looked like a dude that went on a steroid cycle between Tough and his UFC debut. So I'm picking Junior Taffa. Walk off KO. Come on.
I'm also going Taffa.
Right, 3 fights left.
Back on time as well, this is nice. Okay.
Francis Marshall taking on William Gomi. I'm going to go Gomi.
Perfect, I'm going Marshall.
Separation. Priscilla Cachoeira taking on Karine Silva. I'm going to go Cachoeira.
Hey, I'm going Karine Silva.
Damn, lots of splits. And Brady Highstand taking on Bakhtarel Dinar. Or Dinar Bakhtarel. I'm going Bakhtarel.
I'm going Bakhtarel. I was surprised the odds weren't a bit more even on this one though. Because I did look up, because there was just so many fights that I was like, fucking flip them. So I wanted to take a look at what the odds were. This one, like, Bakhtarel Dinar, like, these boys are starting to get some hype now, so I'm still on the hype train, but I don't think Brady Highstand's any kind of fucking bum either. I'm excited for that fight. I think that's a good fight to start with.
No, lots of fights. How many fights is it? Another 14?
I think 1, 2, 3,
7, 13.
Yeah. So far, touch wood.
Could always change. Those are our picks, guys. Leave your own picks in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe. Have a good week. Enjoy the fights when you see them. Take care. Bye, Dave. Bye, Laura. Bye, Trifo.
Bye, Laurie. Bye, Dave.